Prime Minister Andrew Holness wants opposition leader Mark Golding to meet with Justice and Constitutional Affairs Minister Delroy Chuck to start the talks about constitutional reform. Mr. Golding said no.
The effort to make Jamaica a republic has hit a roadblock because the opposition leader Mark Golding has rejected a meeting proposed by the Prime Minister. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness wrote a letter on September 30th, 2025, asking Golding to meet with Justice Minister Delroy Chuck to start talking again about becoming a republic. However, Golding quickly replied, calling the suggested meeting a non-starter, was something he will not agree to. Golding said he strongly wants Jamaica to finish its independence by becoming fully sovereign. For him, this means two things must happen at the same time. 1. Removing the British King/Queen as Jamaica's head of state. 2. Removing the Privy Council in the UK as the country's final court of appeal. The opposition leader brought up remarks Holness made at his recent inauguration, where the Prime Minister said something like, "Mark, let us partner together to complete the work we started in making Jamaica a republic." Golding's rejection shows that the opposition won't support the move unless the government agrees to change the country's highest court as well.
Because if Andrew Holness did really and truly understand or respect our constitution, he would have meet with Mark Golding quick and fast. You know why I say that? Because look at this. They no longer have that 2/3 majority in any of the houses, whether the House of Representatives or the House of Senate. And he's gonna need, not want, he's gonna need the opposition. And so they will need at least 7 votes from the opposition in the House of Representatives. A political commentator, Clyde Williams, is advising opposition leader Mark Golding to send Zuleika Jess to meet with Justice Minister Delroy Chuck after Andrew Holness same extend him hand about 2 to 3 times in a public setting, and that he wants the opposition to collaborate with him on this road to republic. We see him basically writing back to a Mark Golding and telling Mark Golding to meet with Delroy Chuck. What can really go so? As somebody that we really want to move forward, as somebody that we want true collaboration, as somebody that we really want the opposition to be involved in this road to republic. But I want to hear from Uno, due to the fact that Zuleika Jess, a newly minted MP, who is the shadow spokesperson on justice, is it a great advice? I do believe so, 100% and more. Since Andrew Holness want to behave like say him is a sly fox more than nobody else, or him chicken more than nobody else. We got tit for tat with them type of people some of the times. And if he wants to not meet man to man with Mark Golding, and he want to send Chuck, well, Mark Golding, Clyde Williams is advising that you send Zuleika Jess. How about that? Very, very solid advice right there, so. And I must add that a Zuleika Jess is more than capable to talk up to a Delroy Chuck, a very well-rounded, brilliant young lady, 15 years called to the bar. She is a senior legalist. So Jess can do the job. Mark Golding, take this advice, please and thanks. Because we see the labor rights, them attack up them mouth, and remember say, majority of them don't know nothing, them don't read, them not understand, them still say selfish over education. Because if Andrew Holness did really and truly understand or respect our constitution, he would have meet with Mark Golding quick and fast. You know why I say that? Because look at this. They no longer have that 2/3 majority in any of the houses, whether the House of Representatives or the House of Senate. And he's gonna need, not want, he's gonna need the opposition to pass this whole Road to Republic bill and to put it into law, right? So he currently has 35 members of parliament. The 2/3 would have made it up to 42. They no longer have the 2/3. And so they will need at least 7 votes from the opposition in the House of Representatives. And they will also need at least 1 vote from the opposition in the House of Senate. So who you are playing with, Andrew Holness? Who are you ramping with? Not Mark Jefferson Golding, not our comrade leader. You realize the move that Mark Golding made when he put himself as a constitutional affair opposition spokesperson, because he knows that him have a man like you to deal with. Well, count the opposition, but get it through your thick brain now that you no longer have the majority and you're going to need a Mark Jefferson Golding. The People's National Party must have a say. The people of Jamaica must have a say in this constitution reform, in this road to republic.
I saw the story about the Prime Minister meeting with the leader of the opposition on the constitutional matter. It's not the Prime Minister, it's not the leader of the opposition that called for this meeting. It is the Prime Minister that called for the meeting. And we're careful to watch his words or he frames it. He's not calling the Prime Minister to this meeting. The Prime Minister at the inauguration called him to this meeting. That's my first thought on that. The other thing I would suggest to the Prime Minister is, if you meet with Mr. Golding, make sure everything that is said is recorded. I heard the Mali Mala report in our parliamentary presentation. Play that clip of the leader of the opposition agreeing to the matters that are not entrenched in the Constitution. We are going to leave those for the second phase and we go ahead with what we can agree on at the first phase. And he copped out on it. And there are so many things that this man has changed his mind and his mouth on. That one would be foolhardy, and I dare say stupid, to just go to a meeting with this man without having mutual people who are in the sensible center participate in that meeting. And as a matter of fact, every meeting that he has with this man, if they are private, if they are not in the public domain, it should have somebody else there, because he's going to change his mind when it suits him.
All right.
Yeah. I've been reflecting on this, and I worried during the election campaign that it would have been hard to come back from where we went in that campaign.
Yeah, the campaign went far and wide, very deep.
And I think I understand what Agent is saying, because there's a way in which this process is going to require the Prime Minister to be extremely magnanimous. This is a man who has been lied about, viciously attacked, his wife, his children, and I suppose leadership requires you to rise above it, but I get the point that people might think he shouldn't be so trusting. But here's how I respond to that. We're gonna have to find a middle ground. Indeed,
for the way forward on behalf of the country. Definitely,
it can't move forward unless there's a middle ground, right? Yeah.
Well, but I think what Agent is saying is that some care will have to be taken to ensure that what is done or what is said in that meeting is protected, and that there is evidence of any decisions that are taken together.
And we're at a point now where I don't know if I've ever in my lifetime seen the two leaders, the Prime Minister and the opposition leader. I mean, certainly there might have been the period in the 80s. I don't know that period, But certainly since I've been conscious about politics, where it seems that there's such, let me just say it, hatred. It seems that there are people who hate Andrew Holness.
The stakes were very high in the last election, I think. And I think there are a lot of deep cuts.
Right. I think it went too far. And the truth is, he's Prime Minister, but blood running in vein. He's a human being.
We are out of time, Ricardo.
Yeah. So I hear your Agent, but as I say, we have to go find a middle ground.